Well, hello, friends. I would like to invite you to a new webinar with the amazing Lynn Bell on the ingress of Saturn into Pisces. This is a major shift that we're undertaking here in 2023, along with another major shift, Pluto moving into Aquarius for a little bit here shortly. But Lynn's about to present a webinar for us focusing on the Saturn piece, and Lynn is with us here today to tell us a little about that. Hey, Lynn, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Tony. It's always great. I'm always happy to work with Astrology University, and thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. And I love so much hearing, you're one of my favorite astrologers to hear talk about the ingresses, because you always have something creative and inspiring to say, but you always seem to have your finger on the pulse of things that are unfolding in the collective. So what are you intending to share with us in this presentation?
Well, one of the things I've been talking about, I've done some presentations on the more global issues around Saturn going into Pisces, and I want to really talk about its effect in the personal chart. And Saturn in Pisces immediately makes all our guidance systems go a little bit wonky, as if we've entered some kind of force field, which means that the whole fine-tuning is not working. And one of the ways I think about it is that Saturn is, suddenly we're into water here, right? And Saturn, has been in basically realms where he's pretty happy, can kind of more or less control things. But here it's almost like, you've got to get some old geezer up on water skis. Sorry, I should say those things.
Oh no, that was a hilarious image. Yeah.
Right. And the one of the things that happens is that we're being given, like, it's kind of where you live in California. There's so much water, nobody knows what to do, where there's been none. And of course, that isn't just Saturn in Pisces, but Saturn in Pisces is about that disproportion. What we're used to, we're getting too much or too little of something. And this will also happen in our emotional lives. And so one of the things is we actually are all being asked to adapt to a new system of flow. But the problem with Saturn in Pisces is there's either no flow or so much flow that you go under. And so there's almost like I think there are little wipeouts that can come with Saturn in Pisces. Just this sort of feeling of being completely out of control. And then, but we've all been so tight, so controlled. We were locked down, and people have still not gotten that out of their system. So if you're one of those people who hasn't gotten that out of your system, it's almost like Saturn in Pisces allows every cell in your body to release that old tension. And unless you've been caught up in the fear of terrible things that are about to happen, and then every cell in your body will be caught up in fear, which is also a possibility. But really, I think that I'm mentioning the cells in the body because I think that Saturn in Pisces is one of the passages that works the most deeply in us. It works on every level of our emotions. It's not asking us to find the solution with our rational mind. Right? And that's we've forgotten about if we still have a rational mind, of course. So there is this place of actually jumping off our old way of thinking or being. And I think it's fascinating. I am, it immediately activates my chart quite strongly. I have a Pisces midheaven, and it squares things in my own chart. And I can just see the way it's changing the parameters, the givens, like it redistributes the cards for everything.
Right. Amazing. I love that you're going to focus on ways that we can think about participating with this energy as it's unfolding. Absolutely. It's a placement that I think some astrologers, we teach astrology at Astrology University, and it's a placement that students sometimes struggle with interpreting because it is complex. So I'll invite anybody who is having that reaction when you think about Saturn and Pisces to come to this webinar and hear what a seasoned astrologer has to say about that. And if you are interested in attending, you can head over to astrologyuniversity.com/events to find this event on the calendar. If you're tuning into this particular video after we've already recorded it, you'll be able to just jump over to astrologyuniversity.com and download the presentation. And you can find it by typing in Saturn in Pisces into any of the search fields on any page of the website, right there at the top of the website, or you can search for Lynn Bell's name and find all of her talks that way too. And as always, if you have any trouble finding something, just email our help team at help@astrologyuniversity.com and we will help you find it. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, folks, and thanks for joining us today, Lynn, to tell people about what to expect in this presentation. Can't wait.
I hope everybody will come and join me, because I mean, what's wonderful is I always learn from your participation and engagement in a webinar, and some of you will be present with me, I hope, and some of you will watch it later. And remember, it is the ingress of Saturn in Pisces, but Saturn in Pisces will be there for 2.5 years. And so until May of 2025, we're finding our way. And it can be, I know a lot of people are looking forward to the spiritual aspects of this, but I think the story is quite complex. So we'll have a really interesting time.
Absolutely. As always, thank you so much, Lynn. And I can't wait to see you in the webinar here shortly. And until next time, take good care, folks.
Bye.